Hey family, I hope everybody is staying blessed and prayed up. I'm giving another message, alright? God says, are you struggling with the spirit of perfectionism? Yes, perfectionism is a spirit and it is a heavy one. I actually know about this one all too well because I definitely have had a form of OCD in the past. Perfectionism is a topic that is it's overlooked consistently. Many people idolize the idea of perfectionism because of the benefits of the quality of work that it can produce, which allows people to just overlook this condition altogether. And instead of stating it as a disorder, they just look at the benefits. But the negatives have so many impacts on the lifestyle of the person who is struggling with it, and it outweighs those benefits heavily. So we're going to get into where perfectionism comes from and how it manifests itself in your life, especially in adulthood. Alright, so let's talk about where perfectionism comes from in the first place. Most of the time, perfectionism is developed in childhood. It usually comes from children who come from families or parents who set unrealistic standards on their children that can't be met, or they consistently move the bar so that they can never achieve the actual goal. From there, this is where OCD normally will develop. Due to a lack of emotional stability, you tend to feel like you need to have control of everything that is external to yourself. That way you have that internal balance and reassurance that things will not be moved, things will not be changing, you will not lose anything. Another development from perfectionism developing as a child is your inability to allow others to not have to hit certain standards. So, because you were judged so heavily, you become judgy. So you don't allow others a chance to make mistakes and grow as well. If they do not meet your standards, you become excessively critical on their behaviors because that's what you were taught, and it was the thing that allowed you to figure out how to find a baseline of comfortability and stability as well as control. In adulthood, perfectionism becomes a fear of judgment of others. Being that you were heavily judged when you were a child and growing up in that condition, you tend to have a fear of having other people judge you. So you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to make errors. You need everything to be fine-tuned and perfect so that you don't have to worry about someone making you feel ashamed, regretful, and it invokes a lot of fear and anxiety within the person. A lot of these topics are not discussed about what happens when you become somebody who is a perfectionist. You always have to set a bar and you set it way higher than most people ever will. So it tends to cause a lot of internal turmoil. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can start to navigate your perfectionist behavior. I definitely will tell you, this was hard for me because I like things to be very neat, tidy, and organized. For example, if I need you to do the dishes, I expect to come home and there be no dishes, whether there's pots on the stove, whether there's forks and knives, and I expect it to be done. But in the past, I found myself being very critical about certain things. If you offered to do the dishes, but you did not do the silverware, for me, the dishes were not done. If you decided that you were going to do the dishes, but you did not put away the dishes that were clean beforehand, before you even started, you didn't really complete the task. I had to learn that it is okay for things to not meet the standard that you originally have for them. That it is okay for things to not be, in a sense, perfect. Now, the only perfect is God, obviously. And if we are made in His image, then that would therefore mean that we are perfect. Perfectly imperfect. Right? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of ways that you can navigate perfectionism in hopes that you can begin to get over the hurdles, because you will live a happier and healthier life without it. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to be gentle with yourself. If you already know that you need things to be in a very meticulous way and you need things to be very organized for yourself, slowly back off of it. Allow your things to be that way, but understand that that's not how the world always is. So, if that's not how other people want it, it's okay for it to be that way. And if things are out of place and you can't get to it, that's okay as well. Everything happens when it's supposed to, and you take your time when you want to get there. The next tip I can give is to create a strategic plan. Once you create a plan as to how things can be done and you understand the areas where you are able to allow flexibility without it creating anxiety, you can begin to allow those things. Just like the example with the silverware and the dishes. I learned that if the silverware are still in the sink, even though all of the other dishes are done, that is still a win. Because if I had to do the silverware only and I didn't have to do anything else, that's definitely a positive. So taking the positive wins out of situations that may not have gone flawlessly are going to help you navigate your perfectionism in a way that's going to help you heal from it. Lastly, it's getting over the hurdle of the fear of being judged. Now, of course, when you've had many years of being judged, it is very hard to get away from knowing others may judge you. But it's okay to understand that no one can. The only judge is, of course, our Heavenly Father. Besides His judgment, no one else matters. Matthew 7 says specifically, "Judge not, or you shall be judged. And the judgment that you've issued, you shall be judged in the very same measure of which you are judging." Do not allow yourself to fall in that category. If someone is judging you, they're already in the wrong. Allow yourself the benefits of being comfortable with things not going exactly the way that you want them. I'm going to leave this here for now, okay? I love you all. If you have any comments, please go ahead and put them down. I do have some more tips for perfectionism because, like I said, I've been battling this spirit. She is a doozy. So go ahead, put some comments down, send me a DM if you want to ask me some questions, and I will definitely go ahead and respond and give you some answers, okay? Peace.